Gail here in my sewing shed down at the bottom of my garden, and I don't know if you can hear the rain. It is absolutely pouring down here. It's been doing this all day. My youngest daughter has been driving across country through Cornwall and Devon, back up to Wiltshire, and they've just been in so many traffic jams because of puddles on the road that, you know, the traffic's having to drive around or drive slowly through. And my other daughter has just got home from the school run and she is drenched. And I'm here in my shed with my heaters on, so I'm nice and comfy cozy. I've got my cup of tea, which my husband just brought me, and of course I've got all my layers on. But I have my layers on in the house as well. In fact, it's warmer in here now than it is in the house, because of course England is facing power costs. So far the costs of our electricity and gas has doubled this year, and it's going to go up another third. Well, another, you know, our original bills a year ago are now twice the size. They're going to be 3 times the size in the next few months. So everybody is trying not to put their heating on. Well, not everybody. I do have a friend who's keeping her heating on regardless, but I haven't got that much money. So we are cutting down our heating times, and the rest of the time we are nice and snuggled up. I've bought some extra hot water bottles. I am wearing a scarf and a cardigan and a purple top and a black top, and not that I'm going to show you up my skirts, but here is my skirt, you see, and here is my other skirt which I have on underneath. This is my method of keeping warm. So 2 skirts. One of them is a summer skirt, so I've not put it away for the winter. I am wearing it as an extra layer to keep me warm, and it works very well. Anyway, so it's chucking it down. I'm nice and warm and cozy. I've got a lovely mug. Patchwork, my happy place. I don't know if that comes through to you the right way around. Anyway, today I thought I would talk about my crochet. Now, if you remember last year, I think it was, I got a crochet pattern and a crochet kit for Christmas. The one that came as a kit I've not done yet, but the crochet pattern, I bought my wools and I started it, and I ended up with these. Now I've stretched some onto some play mats so that you can see what it'll look like when it's all sewn together, because I can't find the pattern. So here it is. So that's just 4 sewn together, so they will all be sewn together into a big oh, I'll let you have another look, because I do know one of my friends says I'm too quick. So they're not sewn together, they're going to be crocheted together. They'll have I think it's cream that I crochet it all together with. And I've made 158 of these, and as you can see, they're pretty well wiggly woggly. You know, you crochet them, you stuff them in a bag. I stuff them in this bag, a nice zip up. All my projects go in different zip up bags so that I don't lose things, because I'm quite good at losing things. So while I was perusing the YouTube net, as you do, I came across a lady who'd sewn all these together without blocking them, and it was a real kind of messy looking blanket. So I decided I was going to block mine. So I didn't have a blocker or a block paraphernalia. So I looked online, as I do. You know, I don't go out to the shops, I do everything online, and the cheapest I could find them were £26 plus postage and packing. They're just made of you know, sponge foam stuff, and they have lines on. They're usually grey, and I thought, I'm not going to pay all that just for those things. So I bought some children's mats. Here they are. You know, the other side is textured. like that. You see textures, and they come in a pack of 9, and I think these were £6 for a pack of 9. You can probably get them cheaper in the shops, but I don't go to the shops. And my granddaughter, who's 1, she loves these. We get them out on a Sunday and she plays with them. She likes to chew these edges. Anyway, this is what I'm using for blocking. There's some I have blocked, and now I'm going to tilt my camera so you can actually see how I do it, hopefully. So you get to one of the shapes that you're going to block. I mean, you know, I suppose you really need to do this if you have a piece of crochet work that has to be a certain size. If you are very bothered about how your crochet or knitting looks, because I'm not a very bothered person. I don't really bother. There's one. And I just stick 4 pins in. And my pins are quite long because I want to get quite a few done at once. And I did discover that using just one of these play boards meant that you got very prickled. They go right through. So that's why I use 3 together to protect myself. And I'm just putting pins in at the widest point of the shape. And also I noticed when I was doing this that quite a few of them are a different size. Now I'm not sure if that is because my tension varies depending on what mood I'm in, or if it's because some of the wools are a bit different because I couldn't get the colours, you know, by a different make. Either way, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to carry on. I carried on. I made 158. Oh, there was a lot of counting involved, but oh, I was overjoyed when I finished them. Anyway, they've been stuck in a bag for quite a while. I think I've got about 60 of them blocked. And the others have been in my bag. Here they are, the blocked ones. See how nice and straight they are. I'll just do one more and then I'll put my camera back to normal. Oh, I'm doing a pile of pinks here, aren't I? I mean, I have got other colours. So I stick them down with these long pins in the 4 quadrants of the shape, shall we say, the widest points. And then because I want these to be curved, I am just stretching out those sides to make sure that they're all nice and in the right shape. And then what I generally do 3 on here, so I'll do another pile there. Yeah, and you see, do another pile there. Yes. And then I get a sponge and I soak a sponge in water and I squeeze it onto this. And when I'm certain that every single layer of these is wet through, I pick them up nice and safe with no pins sticking in me, and I stick them in a corner somewhere safe. And then on a Saturday, they're dry. I do them on a Monday, and I take them all off and I put these foam jigsaw piece things back in my granddaughter's box where she keeps her toys. So it takes a while, you know, to get them done. I do 6 boards, so that's 2 lots, and I do 15 on each one, 3 piles of 5, so that's 30 a time. I've not done any for a while because I can't do everything, can I? Anyway, I thought I would show you what they look like blocked, nice and flat-ish, and much the same size-ish, which is much preferable to this, isn't it? Anyway, so when they're dry, I'll take them off, and eventually, when I find the pattern, I will crochet them all together in this kind of you know, interlocking pattern, and I will have yet another lovely warm blanket to keep me warm in this winter of no fuel or no heating, because it's just extortionate. We can't afford it. So in our house we have a wall heater at top of the stairs, which we've had for 40 years, and we turn that on in October and we turn it off in April every single year. We used to have it on No, we didn't. We've only ever had it on in the winter between October and April. But this year we're having it on low all the time, whereas previously we've, you know, on very cold days we've turned it up. So the upstairs is always nice and warm. It's not particularly warm, but it's not cold. When we were little, you know, we used to have to get dressed in bed, it was so cold. Well, with the wall heater upstairs and all the doors open, we don't have to do that. And you can go to the loo without freezing. So that's on low all the time, upstairs. And downstairs we generally use the fire in the living room, the gas fire, because we do have central heating, but we don't use it very much because our house is so insulated. We get hot very quick. So we sometimes have it on for an hour, you know, an hour a week, 2 hours. We have noticed we've had to put it on when the grandchildren come round, because they can't come round to play in Granny's cold house, can they? So we put it on for a little while and then turn it off when it warms up. So that's a bit more use than we usually do. But we're only turning the gas fire on between 6 and 9 in the evening now. Therefore, we were wearing a lot of clothes. My husband, I bought him some thermal long johns. And it's keeping him nice and warm. And I do follow Arnie and Carlos, and they wear long johns in Norway, so you know, that's the way to go, isn't it? So anyway, I can't remember if I said or not, but this pattern of these tessellating shapes is called Mystical Lanterns, and it is designed by Janie Crow. So if you fancy doing those, look for Janie Crow Mystical Lanterns pattern on the internet and you can buy it. You can buy it as a kit in various places, or as I did, just get the colours that you fancy. And I thought it was beyond me the first time I saw that, but it's not. It's just like a granny square, really. You start with a circle and you do some trebles with chains, and then you do some more trebles with chains, and then you do some more clustered and singular, and you do a bit of extra doubles at the ends. It's not hard at all, so don't be put off. And I don't know if you remember, I crocheted a throw, and I did bring it into the shed and show you, and it's enormous, and all it was doubles and chains. It's so warm, so I should get that. Then I can use that one, and the other one my husband can have. I'm not giving him the new one. And last week I mentioned that I had done some English paper piecing, so I've got it out of its storage bag just to show you. How many have I done? I think I did 36 blocks, and each one is 10 inches, I think. Let's measure. Yes, 10-inch square, and I've done 36 of them, so that's going to be 60 inches square, isn't it? And then I'll put a border on. It's called, I did know this, but I didn't think about it until I'd nearly finished. It's called, the block is called Queen's Walk. And I started doing it when the Queen died. And the fabric I had saved for it was a range of purples by Robin Pickens. And I did have to supplement it with another range of fabrics. I can't remember. It might be Robin Pickens. The other range of fabrics was probably not. Anyway, so it uses two 10-inch squares, and this is it. Oh, I've got some fabric. Hang on, while I cut this thread off. There. I've done 36 of those. So, if you can see, there's these trapezium shapes. There's 8 of everything. There's one octagon in the middle, 8 of these trapezium shapes, 8 of these triangles, 8 of these irregular squares, and only 4 triangles on the corners. But that's 29 shapes in each block. So I'll just show you a few of the ones I've done. Well, I say a few, probably half of them I've got in this pile. If you get fed up of seeing them, just shout. Not that I'll hear you. I think this one is probably the lightest. Now, I took these to my quilting group because I wanted to use their ginormous tables to decide how to lay them out. And I decided, after laying them all out on these ginormous tables, that I didn't care. Whatever suggestion was made, or whatever changes I made, you couldn't tell. They were, you know, so I'm just going to sew them all together and have a lovely pattern when I've done it. That's what they look like when they're sewn together, if you can see. So it'd be lots of stars with different coloured squares in the middle, and the overall colours are pink and purple, really, I'd say, wouldn't you? There's some blue. See, that one's really kind of pink and purple. So I've got 36 of these that are waiting until after I've finished doing my Christmas sewing. You see, these are very strange, because I cut these all on the straight of the stripe, and look how they've come out. I wonder what I should have lined it up with, you know, for it to be all stripes. I thought they would be all going outwards. But there you go, that's something you learn about, isn't it? You live and learn, as they say. So if you want to know where I got the Queen's Walk pattern from, mention it in the comments and I'll let you know, because I can't quite remember at the moment where I got them from. But I got a pack of 30 and I used, I think you can see on that one, I used dividers. You know, dividers in a lever arch file, to cut out another 6 blocks worth of shapes, and there's 29 in each block. But you know, there was nothing difficult about it, and I did that in front of the telly over a couple of months, just while I contemplated the Queen's death. Anyway, the only thing I'm going to talk about now is something I'm going to cut out while I'm here in my nice warm shed. It's warmer than the house. I have got some fabrics. This is an old shirt that I've cut up, and this is some leftover from a project, and these are some random fat quarters I found in the pile. So with these colours, I'm going to make an elephant for my littlest grandson. It was my big grandson's birthday yesterday. Whew. He did, well, he's having still a nice time today. It was his birthday today. He's 5 today, but we saw him yesterday, so he had his presents yesterday. I bought him a giant dinosaur, as well as lots of games to play, and a build your own volcano, which I sent home for his dad to do. Anyway, today is his actual birthday, and he's still opening presents, and he opened presents on Saturday as well as his other grandparents, so he's having a fantastic time. Yesterday it was my youngest grandson's birthday, and he was 1, and we're going to see him next weekend, so I'm really looking forward to that. But I am going to make him some elephants. I might only make one. I've also got this elephant pattern that's patchwork, but I think this is a bit big. It might end up bigger than him, so I think I'm going to use this one, except that it needs to be increased, the pattern sizes, by 200%. So I'm just going to have to get my pattern paper out and do some rough guesswork, make sure it's not as big as that one, because I don't even know if I've got enough material, even though they'll be nicely patchwork. Maybe I should use that one, I don't know. I don't want it to be that big. My daughter doesn't really like him to have toys that are bigger than him, and he will want to eat the trunk and the tail and the legs, and he can't really do that if it's enormous, can he? No. Anyway, I'm not going to rattle on for very much longer, just seeing how long I've been online. This is the second time I've done it. The first time I dropped the phone halfway through when I was adjusting it, and as you know, I don't know how to edit. So there you go. What have I been doing this week, this fortnight? Not a lot, really. I have been crocheting jumpers, and I finished those yesterday. My little granddaughter has got one, and my little grandson will be getting his soon, and eventually I will be making one for my elder grandson. As you can see, I've got lots of wools up there. He wants his in blue, and I'm also knitting some Christmas presents for people, so I'm going to be quite busy with the old knitting. I've decided not to sew anything this year apart from this elephant. I was going to crochet him an elephant, but I just couldn't find enough wool to make it small enough for him. They were all ended up, I mean, once, you know, I crocheted a dinosaur. No, it wasn't. I didn't crochet up. I knitted a teddy bear when my elder grandson was not born yet, and it was enormous. It was about 5 foot tall. Took all bags and bags and bags of stuffing, and he didn't really like it, especially when he was a little baby. Anyway, I got it back, threw the wool away, and it was awful wool to knit with, and used all the stuffing on other things, so it has been recycled. So I don't really want to make something that's too big. And the crocheted elephants, or were they knitted? No, they were crocheted. They really they were coming out too big. She wants something for him to be able to get hold of and play with, not something to sit on. I bought him a chair for his birthday, a little armchair with a matching footstool. Anyway, I'm going to cut up these fabrics now. We'll draw up a pattern and cut them out, and then if the rain starts to rain a bit less, I might nip back home and get on with my knitting. It's going to be knitting evenings for a while I knit these Christmas presents, and when my elbow starts to hurt from knitting, I shall do a bit of sewing this elephant together. I've got some quilting to do as well. I must find time to do that. Anyway, when I finish the quilts, I'll show you, hopefully before Christmas, and I'll get back to you in a few weeks, week or two, we'll see, with a bit more to tell you, talk about. I'll see if I can find something interesting. Bye for now.